engagement has become a popular topic with remote teaching, but it's actually a fundamental part of teaching in all contexts. And one of the challenges of talking about student engagement is it can mean a lot of different things to different people. So let's seek clarity by looking at the 3 dimensions of student engagement. The first dimension of student engagement is behavioral engagement. And this has to do with students complying with the school and the classroom rules so that they can be academically successful. And this is probably what we mostly associate with student engagement. We can walk into a classroom and see that students are doing what they need to fulfill the goals of the class that day. The next dimension of engagement is emotional engagement. And this has more to do with students' connections with other people in their classroom, their peers, their teacher, and do they feel comfortable? Do they feel comfortable advocating for themselves, asking questions, or looking for additional opportunities to connect with their peers or connect with their teacher? And then the final dimension of engagement is cognitive engagement. And this has to do with students seeking challenge and wanting to learn more from what they start with their teacher in the classroom. Just introducing the 3 dimensions of student engagement alone may not be that helpful. So let me use an example from my own teaching experience that gives an idea what these dimensions can look like. When I was a high school teacher, I can remember a biology lesson where students were especially engaged in material across the 3 dimensions. This was a beginning ecology lesson focused on using basic vocabulary to communicate relationships within ecosystems. I started asking what students already know and then posed the question: are the streets of Philadelphia an ecosystem? After a few minutes of discussion, I told them we were going to take a field trip walking around the school in a small park in the area. Our goal was to use some of the basic vocabulary, population, community, resource, to apply what we saw outside our school and answer our question. We then took to the streets, looking for signs of an ecosystem and examples of our different vocabulary words. In the beginning, I could hear students chit-chatting about various topics, none of them about ecology. But soon enough, something caught our eye. I heard one young lady exclaim, "Wait, look over there, we're getting near the park." And then somebody else said, "Oh look, over by that tree, there's a squirrel." Isn't a squirrel part of an ecosystem? One young man shared, "Yeah, I think a bunch of squirrels is a population. And oh look, it's eating a nut, so I think that's a community because it's part of a plant." And then we were off to the races. We heard a bird calling from a tree, we saw a cat chasing a mouse, and all the conversation for the rest of the time was about ecology. Students took the observations they recorded to define our list of vocabulary words and provide examples of each of these words. At the end of this day, we came back together as a class to answer our question: are the streets of Philadelphia actually an ecosystem? The consensus, after using our observations of evidence, was a resounding yes. I had students write a short reflection essay to describe what they felt about a learning ecology in this way, and read some expected comments like it was fun, it was interesting, I'd not thought about ecology in this way, but one comment really stood out. One young man wrote that ever since he went to the zoo when he was young, he was interested in studying animals, but thought you had to go to somewhere like Africa or Australia to study interesting animals. But after looking at his neighborhood in this way, thought that he could actually study animals in his own city and was interested in looking to see if he could study this in college. This young man currently works for the Department of Natural Resources, managing waterfowl habitats in city parks. Thank you for watching today's Teaching Tidbit video. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. We look forward to seeing you at one of our TGR Foundation workshops in the near future. Bye-bye.